Hey, Future Anonymous here. I just wanted to say this. There's two reasons why I wanted to uh kind of interrupt my video. First reason is I want to apologize for the really disgusting upload schedule. It's completely my fault. I have nothing else to blame but myself. So completely sorry. But the other thing I wanted to say was I'm gonna be changing up a style that my video style. I'm not going to be editing as much. I want to keep it raw. I'm going to keep it just my honest opinions. Um, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. I honestly, I think the best way to show how I am in real life, because especially because you can't see my face, is to actually keep it raw, to keep it, more real, keep my full-on feelings about it. Even if it's a 16-minute video, I'll pause, like, if it has a lot of points, I'll pause at every single point, and I'll tell, and using my worldview, I will quote unquote debunk or give an opinion on each point. So the videos are gonna be way longer, especially if it's gonna be like a Chad video where she just goes on and on about random shit. Especially in this video, where like 16 minutes was random shit. So yeah, that's it. Okay. That's all I want to say. Thank you for listening to me. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be reacting to TikTok's Biggest Pick Me by Chad. I don't have a good impression of her, but hey, let's see it.
Guys, and welcome back to A Twinge of Cringe. My name is Chad. And I found another really cool alpha podcast. It's my alpha podcast. Every week, I'm gonna blame 100% of my problems on 50% of the population, say a bunch of words that I think make me sound smarter, but in reality have as much meaning as the final paragraph in a research paper.
Basically, the more partners a woman has, the less likely she is to have a happy marriage. And so I think that's why historically we've always protected women and tell them to not be outside of marriage, because the bond is so strong for women during sex. We release a hormone during that men don't.
That's a very interesting point. I don't have experience with that. I'm not a woman. I don't know. But as a man, what I know is I don't mind having sex. I like having sex.
Conclusion, do not engage in the dirty and squirty. A study found that 169% of women that did the dirty and squirty before wedlock were 420% more sad, mostly because during the act, women secrete hormones glue that bonds them to their partner. It is a huge mess, so ladies, stop being such sluts. I'm just kidding. I don't have a podcast yet, but this person does. And this time it's a little different because the alpha in question is a woman.
What are your thoughts on Andrew Tate?
I think he speaks a lot of truth, and a lot of women don't want to hear it. Oh, if you sleep around, that is not attractive to guys. They don't want you to know that you age out of the dating marketplace.
So we have friendly fire. There's some espionage. It's kind of a Benedict Arnold situation. Guys, is it just me, or are the British kind of slaying right now? You're right, they're slaughtering us out there. No, I mean, they're killing it. Yes, we've lost half our men. I'm gonna switch teams. Wait, are you betraying us? Losing a war is so beta. I've been shot 5 times. I'm not gonna be on the same side as a bunch of soy boys. I've seen a bunch of stitches to her videos this past week, but had a lot of trouble finding her TikTok because apparently they keep deleting it.
They banned account number 3, but you can't get rid of me, baby! You can't get rid of me, baby! Account number 4! Account number 4!
But her YouTube is still up and she goes by Just Pearly Things, which is kind of a weird contradiction. Imagine you're strolling on the beach with the waves crashing gently. You find a clam and you pry it open to find a beautiful, sparkling pearl. And then it starts spewing misogyny at you.
You would look so much better if you smiled more. Don't be such a beach.
The reason that I think feminism is a hate group is because oftentimes the things that they advocate for are at the cost of men.
That's interesting too. Oh wow. I've never thought about it that way. I think that's modern feminism I believe with women's suffrage. That was something that was just yeah, because they were just trying to get rights to vote, actual rights. With the modern feminism, I'm not too sure what's about. The goal is kind of hazy. Just because it's you women already have the right that they need. In fact, I've seen situations where girls probably have more power than men. A woman can make up a lie about me and spread it around as a rumor in school, and guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna be in shackles and be driven to a prison cell. So, yeah, it's a bit hazy, but I don't see the point of the modern feminism movement. I really don't see it.
I saw a lot of people this week labeling her as a pick-me.
And to everyone calling me a pick-me, I'd rather be a pick-me than a skip-me. So yeah, if you want to call me a pick-me, call me a pick-me. Bye.
That's very interesting too. Well, she's not admitting the fact that she's a pick-me, but all she's saying is it's better to be a pick-me than a skip-me. But yeah, I have no experience with that. I've watched some of her videos, and I don't necessarily think she's a pick-me. I think she speaks whatever fact that she feels like is accurate and correct. And I feel like a pick-me would be a person who just wants to really like say stuff the other gender wants to hear, and I don't believe she's that kind of person, but yeah, at least from what I've seen in the videos.
Which, if you don't know what that means, it's basically a woman who tries to separate herself and make it clear that she's not like other girls. Because other girls suck. They wear short skirts, I wear t-shirts. And then they say mean things to me, like you can't only wear t-shirts and your genitals are showing. Like, what? If you'll look at these titles, most of them reference modern women a lot and in a negative way. Because as we all know, modern women want rights. And
What kind of rights do you need?
stuff, and that's bad. Modern women blame everyone but themselves. Modern women cannot be helped. These women put men in jeopardy. Just come with me right over here.
Where are you taking me?
In jeopardy.
What is jeopardy?
Correct. The only
Do you not know what Jeopardy means?
women we like are old-fashioned ones that don't show their ankles and churn butter. She wears long skirts. I wear long skirts because it's 1775. T-shirts haven't been invented yet, and neither has today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Raycon.
Okay, I'll just skip this ad shit. Okay.
Talking, and then there's the other. Back to the video. In all of our other alpha podcasts, there's usually one who does all the talking, and then there's the other guy who's mostly there to just agree with everything the other one says. You know, like a true alpha.
Yeah.
Pearl is kind of different because she's the one who mediates this podcast, but she still manages to be a yes person somehow.
Does she mediate it? I don't think so. I think she's the host and she's entitled to ask questions. She is entitled to being able to express her feelings and express what she's researched. I don't believe she's mediating. I believe she's hosting it and she's being a good host.
Whether a boy or girl, it's 100% your responsibility what happens in your life.
I think it's more on the girl because we have more power.
Right.
We have more power than men do in every instance. But it doesn't. But no. Okay.
That's terrible.
No, sorry. You're right. Actually, you're correct.
She'll say something and then look around, waiting for everyone else to agree and encourage her to go on.
It's like a handshake. and that's what I mean.
Kind of like a child who forgot their lines at a Christmas play.
I don't think so. I think that's part of her personality to do that. Or not to look around for approval, but to just, kind of laugh, have fun with the guest. But, yeah, I really don't believe that.
Play. And on that night, there were...
This shit is boring, wait. Yeah, no, Chat does a lot of these skits where it's really not funny. And it's not informational as well. I have no idea why the hell she does it. So I'm just gonna skip that right here.
Men though. We do.
I'm so proud of you.
We do need men, though. We do.
We don't need them.
We do. Who do you call to get your car fixed? A man or a woman?
So I fix my own car.
Only men can be mechanics, everyone. Sorry.
Well, in a lot of instances, most mechanics are men. I personally haven't experienced much women in the construction or automobile or the STEM fields. I haven't experienced much women in them. Personally, I've seen just a crazy amount of men. Crazy. So, and I believe that when you call a mechanic and when you call whatever, usually it's going to be a man. Usually. But I think the statistical amount of women in STEM fields are so statistically insignificant that it's basically all men. I mean, I haven't looked into statistics, but just from my personal experience, I haven't seen a lot of men or a lot of women.
Sorry, just do a woman job, like read from iPad or be named after slimy thing a mollusk makes.
I can do. I'm most mechanics.
Your power supply. Who runs it? Who runs the infrastructure of society? Men or women?
So essentially what she's saying is that we need the patriarchy because the patriarchy said we need the patriarchy.
No, the society said we need a patriarchy. From my knowledge, most men or most people are working in, or the most people working in sewers, the most people building skyscrapers, the most people working in most principals. I think most. I've seen more male principals, security guards, electricity, water. I think most people, or plumbers actually, yeah, most of them are men. And without them, I don't think I can survive for very long, unless, I mean, I probably could. I'm not too bad with athleticism, but I don't know much hunting. But, all in all, I think we need men. Because without them, I think society is gonna function at a speed where it's just not gonna be as fast as the other nations. And, I think, like a place like China where they're almost a collective. They're like a beehive, right? They know what to focus on because there's one leader. Now, I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that, I want our system to be more like China's, but I'm giving you an example of when a nation is fully focused on one goal, what it's able to accomplish. Like, it's truly scary, the amount of technology it has, even though it didn't start the Industrial Revolution at the same time as us. So China has basically, I think they actually exceeded our technological, how was the word? I think China actually exceeded our speed in terms of technology, which is really interesting.
Guys, and I mean, look at him. He seems trustworthy.
Put the rights in the bag.
Who runs the infrastructure of society? Men or women?
We know who's in charge of more things and who has been historically. That's kind of the problem.
I don't understand. If it's been done, all of history, it's been done to show, or it's shown that that's how we become the most productive in a society. How is it bad? I don't understand. How's that a problem?
Just because you're named after the byproduct of an oyster doesn't mean you have to have the same thought process as one. Pearl initially blew up because of this TikTok, which I'm going to put a big old warning and timestamp over, because if you don't want to watch this garbage, I don't blame you.
One girl that looks good at 300 pounds.
That's so true. No girl looks like a fucking...
I don't know what 300 pounds is.
Do you think you want to keep them fat so you don't have to compete with them?
Ooh.
Lucky for you, there's a lot of girls plumping themselves up right now. I'm motivating them to get on the treadmill. Look at it.
If you love someone, you tell them the truth.
So not only is she an adult iPad kid, she's also a fat-phobic adult iPad kid.
I have no idea what you mean. Personally, what she said wasn't fatphobic at all. She said the truth. It wasn't because of hatred or fear of fat people. It was because it was the truth that she said it.
I'm going to be talking about Whale Attack Part 2 for talking about whales. And you're still a whale. Like, I can't.
She refers to plus-size people as whales multiple times on her account because she just cannot stop thinking about the ocean. It's ingrained in her gastropod brain.
I mean, what else you can call them? Plus-sized people? Nah, they fucking whales. Holy shit, bro. Nah, I don't know, man. I think it's the social programming. It's kind of weird to say it. I'm not gonna lie. But, hey. I don't usually like to be very mean to people out of nowhere. But I think if I loved someone, I'll tell them, you're fat, get to exercising, get to dieting, get to whatever. Because in all reality, doesn't matter if they hate me. I need them to work at their best. Well, that's probably the only way I can have friends, right? If I don't think I can be with a guy friend who is 200 pounds. No, I'll tell them, I need you to perform at your best. If you're at 200 pounds and you're like some kind of MMA fighter, good for you, heavyweight. Okay, cool. But if you're not something like that and you're just fat, get to fucking work. I need you performing at your best, and I'm not gonna accept the fact that you are 200 pounds with no history of fucking training and lazy. That's what I would say if they were my male friend. That's it. Gotta tell them that.
She hasn't had a Krabby Patty in years, guys. Cut her some slack. She's homesick.
I said, name one girl that looks good at 300 pounds.
She uploaded a 10-minute response to everyone being reasonably upset with her, and does anyone want to guess what her defense of this clip was? You're not going to get it. It's totally original for an Alpha podcast. We've never heard anyone say this before.
On TikTok, a clip was taken of me. It was a bit out of context.
Okay, you know what? I can't believe Chad took a clip, took a no context clip of a person saying it was a no context. Bruv, Chad only showed maybe, what, she said it was a 10-minute response? Showed maybe like 20 seconds at max? Really? Really? That's ironic, isn't it? She showed a no context clip about Pearly Things. And in that video, Pearly Things is talking about how people put her out of context. That's real crazy. And how do we know this is her only defense? We're gonna take your word for it? You know what? Okay, let me take your words for it, okay? Let's say this is our only defense. That she didn't have context. It's a TikTok short. I'm guessing that most of the interviews are maybe an hour, 2 hour long. And when they are 1 to 2 hours long, and you take a 60-second clip of it, what is that? Out of fucking context. It's very hard to know the context of a 1 hour podcast from a 10-second fucking TikTok. Very fucking hard. So, I don't get your point.
You know, sometimes maybe I make fun of them a little too hard.
Oh, it's out of context. Okay, I was about to be upset and act like words have meaning or something. Hey, Alice, can I ask you something?
Okay, I understand your point. If someone said it, yes, they mean it like that. But calling a person fat can have multiple kind of meanings within a context, right? So if in a TikTok, if you just for that 60 seconds, you're calling them fat, you're fat shaming them, saying fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're mad, you're out of control. You're saying you're fat. Okay. But before that, the context was you're gonna reenact how usually an out of control person is gonna say and do. Then that completely changes the fucking, the video. Because in that 60 seconds, it seems like you're just out of control. You're saying fat, but just a minute ago or like a few seconds ago from that, you said you're gonna reenact what a out of control person looks like. Then it completely changes what it is. So yes, your words do hold meaning within that context.
Hey, you are so stupid. And
Also, let me skip this shit. This has no value to my
this video and keeps pausing to take sips.
Okay.
I guess she's dehydrated from being so salty all the time.
I don't really.
That doesn't fucking matter. She's just taking a few sips of water, coffee, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Mind being made fun of. I feel like it's part of the game. I feel like okay.
Yeah. I would say it is in a way part of the game, but yeah.
I don't know if they're supposed to make this seem like more of a casual little vlog, but it's not translating
Hey, if a person wants to fucking drink, let them drink.
that way. I know you're all insulting me because I insulted you first, but I could not care less.
She's just drinking water, whatever. Let her do her things, man.
Obviously, she has low self-esteem and internalized shit.
What the fuck? Fuck did that come from? Psychoanalyzing this guy? Or this girl? What? I don't understand. Is this what we do now? We just kind of assume, oh, this guy is low self-esteem, insecure, full of anxiety. Like, what's going on?
A lot of it. Psychologically, she is constipated. But so is everyone else, okay? We're all constipated in our hearts. Just go to therapy or go to therapy while you're taking.
I don't know the fuck she's trying to do, but actually, going to therapy, that's a very interesting choice. I don't think I will ever, like, if I ever have problems, it's gonna be with my friends. Therapy, I feel like it's the biggest waste of time ever, because what you're doing is you're speaking to this person who's been quote unquote trained by the government too, right? To kind of talk to you, blah blah blah, whatever. Can't you do the same thing with your fucking friends? With your girl? Okay, no, not with your girl. If you do it with your girl, I think if you show a lot of weakness to your girl, I think she might react in a way where it's like, oh, this guy is a pussy. Just a little bit. I personally hadn't had much experience with that, but I wouldn't take the risk. But if you're out with your boys and you sit them down, you're like, guys, I have a problem. This is my problem. That's it. And if they respond with some shit like, well, nobody fucking cares. Just go through it. You're a man. You're a fucking man, so that's what you gotta do. Now, yeah, it's like if you get a breakup. You're a fucking man. Deal with it. Everybody has experienced a breakup before. Does it fucking matter? I understand. It probably hurts. I understand. But you're a fucking man, so that's what you gotta deal with. And you can't let one obstacle hold you back for 10 years, because then you're just wasting it.
And how does that make you feel? Shitty.
Like, I think if a woman cheats, she's trying to leave you. If a man cheats,
Yes.
he's just like it's like a handshake.
Why is the exposure turned all the way up in these clips? We need to get their editor over to the House of Dragons team. We can't see. We must insist you turn the brightness up.
You can absolutely sleep with a woman who you may find very attractive and very sexy and everything else, but your heart is still completely with another woman.
That's a very interesting point. A lot of I've seen so many guys saying this, especially top tier males, and maybe it's true, but I have to look into, I have to look into this more. Basically, what I mean is, if I ever get a date, or no, I've been on dates, but if I ever get like a girlfriend, which I really, really love, because at this moment, it's like, I have 5 girls I can hit up anytime, and it's, none of them really catches my eyes. One of them it's kind of cold, so I'm like, right. And I'm not about to focus all of my energy on some girls. So I don't, I still gotta test this out. I think, well, I had a date. I had a quote unquote girlfriend. But it was very short term. I'm not sure if I felt the long lasting relationships or long lasting effects of it. But I can tell you for this for sure. If I was with her, I would still fuck another girl. So that's my personal experience with it. That's it.
I'll explain to you like this.
Hey, I wonder if this guy has ever cheated on a partner before. Do you think he's cheated on a partner before? Because I don't think he has.
That's very interesting. Cheated. I don't like that word. You're cheating someone. No, I don't like it. I believe you. I think you truly cheat when you lie. When you lie about it. Right? When your girl says, "Where'd you go?" "I went to another girl's house. I fucked her, and now I'm back." That's your response. That's gonna have that. Like, what the fuck? You have to what other response are you gonna give? Nothing else. That's all you gotta say. You gotta say straight up, "Hey, I fucked this bitch, but I still like you more, so I'm here." Because in my personal experience, what tends to happen when you lie is it creates an environment where the girl doesn't have respect for you because you lied, and she's gonna be hurt either ways. If she finds out, she's gonna be hurt, and with a long enough time frame, I've seen it happen. She's gonna find out. So okay, she finds out, she's gonna get hurt even more because you didn't tell her the truth, and you just lost some respect. And guess what? You're gonna get a divorce coming right up. Or if it's just a girlfriend, a breakup. Now, I'm not saying that if you just tell her straight up, "Hey, I cheated on you. Just fuck this other girl," that she won't break up with you. What I'm saying is, well, at least she's gonna have the respect. So, I count cheating when I lie. When I lie about it. And when everybody knows it's a lie, it's a fucking lie. But when I know that's a fucking truth, like I say, I get back to the house, 1 o'clock at night. "Where have you been?" "I fucked a bitch. Back now." "She's a bitch, so I like you more." That's it. You guys break up then? Break up then. That's it. It sucks. I think it doesn't matter if it's the love of your life. I don't believe it matters, because if you break up, well, she's no longer gonna be in your life, so it doesn't fucking matter. That's sad though.
Your Honor, really, when you think about it, as a man, I am biologically prone to setting that building on fire. Now, if I were a woman, then this would be arson, yes. But when I do it, it's just like lighting birthday candles.
I think women are just more
That's very interesting. I think women and men just think very differently. I personally cannot speak for a woman because I am not a woman, so I don't know how their brain works. But what I know is, as a man, I am a bit more aggressive. I am stronger, a lot physically stronger. My reaction time is usually faster than girls, and my bones are definitely stronger than a girl's. Just saying, bone density, testosterone, a lot of different effects. Whatever. But that's what I know, and I know that girls think very differently from me as a man. I understand that every human is kind of, in a way, special with their own individual traits, but there's always going to be a reoccurring pattern. That's what I believe, because I've seen it. I've seen it multiples of times where I just walk around and it's like same guy, same like dresses the same way, same personality. It's like there has to be a fucking pattern at this point. Frat boys, right? Emo boys. It just there's a pattern, and especially with social occasions, that's where you can see it the best. There's just it's patterns and patterns and patterns. That's it.
Emotional.
Yeah.
True. Yes.
Like women are more likely to wage war.
To do what? To do what?
To wage war.
How are there statistics for things that haven't happened, Pearl? You can't.
I don't know. I think there can be. I think there has to be some kind of women leader, or a leader that is a woman somewhere in these countries, in a tribe. I don't know. I think was it England? Wasn't it ruled by a queen for a very long time? So that's that, right? So it has happened, and historically, yes, has happened. I think some people are gonna use that as some kind of um not explanation, was it some kind of some kind of thing where they're like, okay, yeah, no, there has been a monarchy in society. No, having a queen as a ruler is not monarchy. It is a you just have a monarchy, matriarchy. My bad, matriarchy. Having a queen, it's not a matriarchal society, because still most of the times, men are in charge. Maybe not the highest powers, but at 99% other things, like shops, bars, sewers, building shit, right? Like construction, it was still mainly ran by men. So, yeah.
Can't just be like, well, I know this technically hasn't happened, but if it did, this is definitively how it would.
Like percentage wise. Like I know more men have because more men have been in power, but women are actually more likely to do it when they're in power.
What percent?
That's very interesting. A higher I personally think that women probably will get more emotional while in power and more easily enraged, causing more wars and altercations. I believe that's the case because the most emotional people I've ever known are women. Are fucking females. That's it. Usually men are more calmer. So, and I think at the most extremes, because to be in power, you kind of have to be very competent, and you got to be a bit extreme. I think at that level, men would probably be calmer. Women would probably be calm as well, but I think it's a biological thing. It's a reoccurring pattern. I've seen it among a lot of fucking girls. So I think it's a biological pattern. I think so I think even at the most extreme of levels of competency, a woman can still get more easily enraged than a guy.
Percentages. You can't just scientifically back a hypothetical. Let's take your theory and apply it to this diagram here. So first, identify the problem, women, obviously. Number 2, collect data. This one's a little difficult because you don't fucking have any. And 3, create a hypothesis. So do women start wars? Have women?
Okay, this shit's boring. Wait, that's...
Where wars?
Like, I feel like a lot of problems would be solved if we got rid of birth control and social media.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for women when it comes to social media and what they see on a daily basis?
I think it inflates like women's ego.
Yeah, when you post a some kind of selfie, right? Even if you're 5, a lot of degenerate men would be like, "Oh my god, queen, 10 out of 10." And of course your friends are gonna tell you 10 out of 10, right? And a queen, if they say like 5 out of 10, you know, it's disrespectful. But, you know, even strangers, degenerate men who haven't had proper experience with women will probably call you a 10 out of 10 as well, even if you're a 5.
So, like, I think
Right.
a lot of times we think we're hotter than we are.
I don't know if they don't have Wi-Fi in Bikini Bottom, but this is famously the opposite effect of social media.
I think it's changed a lot. If you're in the fitness community, yeah, it's you know, you see all these guys like, you know, Arnold, Swatson, something, very famous guy, Arnold. Sorry, yeah, I forgot his last name. Forgive me. But he's an extremely buff guy, and he has he's absolutely a legend in the bodybuilding world. And for most people, unless you're taking TRTs or whatever they're called, taking testosterone, it's very hard to obtain that kind of body. So to me, yeah, no, that is an unrealistic standard. But I think if you're a woman, it's a bit different, as because I feel like that's really only there in the bodybuilding. If you're in the modeling thing, you know, even if you're 5 and you start taking professional selfies of you in a bikini or some kind of brand, you can definitely look like a fashion model, and everybody will be like, "Oh, queen, yeah, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10."
Are you saying that you scroll through Instagram just thinking to yourself, you know, I was feeling pretty self-conscious, but now that I've seen all of these unattainable beauty standards, I'm feeling a lot better?
I think it inflates like women's ego.
No matter what they're saying, they use this same sad piano track in the background of every YouTube short.
I think that modern women are impacted and influenced.
And they don't even pay for it. You can hear the watermark playing over and over and over.
They're influenced. It's influenced. It's influenced.
You guys can afford 21,000 microphones, but not a single copyright-free track.
Are you sure this is the original TikTok where they're posting it? Because sometimes, yeah, there can be other creators who like chop up the TikTok and then just post it as their content, and then they put their music and shit on them. So yeah,
Women can camouflage their entire bodies like chameleons, and they communicate with satellite dishes that pop out of their... And if you don't believe me, I'm going to repeat the same thing, but with Piano Sonata number 9 in F major. Women can camouflage their entire bodies.
The modern woman is a walking contradiction. Generally narcissists, and they are the first women in, I think, probably most of history that they tend to destroy what they love and chase what they hate.
That's deep, but I can't agree with it. I can't disagree with it either. I don't think I have enough life experience with girls, because I've only started really like not focusing, but I've only really started like dating this year, and I already got like 5 girls, so that's that. With the first part, modern women are generally narcissists. Yeah, I can see that in some way. But that's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Are we certain that you're describing women and not one of the villains from Scooby-Doo? And I would.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. You know, I really don't get these skits. Like, please, just like, please.
They have a number of things they want, but generally I think the modern woman doesn't want to love. I think the modern woman wants to feel more than anything.
She
doesn't want love, but wants to feel. Now, okay, it sounds deep, but to me it sounds like bullshit. Because, I mean, I haven't really experienced a lot of life. I just don't know. It's a very interesting point. I'll keep that in mind.
She doesn't want to love. She wants to feel. Because love isn't a feeling anymore, I guess. I like how they talk about women as if they're an entirely different species. Even Pearl, they act like they have women in glass cages that they've been studying.
Well, women have been around for as long as men. So, we have research on them. Same thing with men. We have research on men. But, I think it's just when you kind of hear all of the biological differences, you start feeling as if you're almost a different species. And I think that's the power of how our power of the DNA, right? Just a little change can hugely impact how you think and how you view the world, which is very interesting to me. But to me, I think you just gotta experience in real life. That's all you gotta do. You gotta be open-minded. You gotta trust your personal experiences, and not just take everything that the government says. Even now, I really don't like searching up statistics or whatever on Google. It's because to me, Google in a way is ran by a company that is pushing an agenda, and when any company that is pushed by an agenda, it's there can be a lot of false information, and I trust my own eyes. I trust my ears. I trust that when I walk and I see thousands of people a day, I believe I believe that's real. Or even if this is some kind of matrix simulation fuck type shit, right? I think this is still the reality that I live in, and from what I've experienced, and what I think that's the truth. I think that's the truth of this world. But of course, it's going to get updated as time goes on, and I believe that Jai Kwan in 10 years' time will look back at me and be like, oh wow, I have became a lot more intelligent, a lot more confident. It's just, I think that's life, and shouldn't trust the government too much. I believe history repeats itself, and as we can see from a lot of history, governments can almost never be not corrupted in a long enough time frame, so gotta be careful.
Subject 3008 is still maintaining the sleep schedule of an anxious barn owl. Subject constantly complains about recurring sharp pain in random parts of body, but would rather tempt death than drive to a doctor's office. Subject also continues to eat a bowl of birth control and milk every morning while reciting some sort of ritualistic chant.
I mean, virtually all women in the Western world now, under a certain age, are modern women to various degrees.
Modern women are feminists. I guess he's explaining how women are feminists.
Some adopt it all wholesale, some are more resistant, but overall, it's influenced and permeated through society over the last few decades.
Did you say permeated? Are you making mead?
Permeated means to spread throughout something. So, yeah. Search it up on Google, but and a lot of dictionaries are going to tell you that. Actually, even with definitions, I wouldn't trust too much of Google, because recession, it was a 2-quarter thing. Now they changed it. The government fucking changed it to match its their own definition. So now it's 4 quarters, right? A recession. I can search that up right now. Recession, right here. Why is it going to Yahoo? Meaning. 2 successive quarters. They changed it back. What the fuck? Session meaning in dictionary. Maybe it's Yahoo. I don't know. But yeah. Right? Economic activity. That's very interesting. But I remember them changing it to what was it? 4 quarters. So maybe it's because I'm using Yahoo. Maybe Yahoo is the next great website. I don't know, but that's very interesting.
Virtually all women in society are women in society to various degrees. And I tend to believe that women are kind of fermented in their spirits. And keeping this in mind as such...
Is this a filibuster?
Guys, no. Come on. I hardly know her.
He's happier in his relationship when he's had 8 or 9.
Yeah, I attest to that. I think the more women I'm with, the more I've worked out what it is I want and what I don't want. It left me in a position where I knew exactly what I wanted, what was completely non-negotiable.
So essentially you have a love life and it helps you understand what you like or don't like in bed, and eventually it helps you understand what you're looking for in a partner and leads to long-term happiness in a relationship. If you're a guy, sorry, did you...
I think for a guy, you really gotta explore. It's because being a man is very different from being a woman, because you have to be funny, you have to be charming, you have to have a lot of more attributes than a woman. All a woman gotta have is you don't even have to have a good personality. You can have a trash fucking personality, and if you're a 10 out of 10, people are gonna like you a little bit more. Maybe a lot of people won't consider a long-term relationship with you, but some people will. Well, rather than a 5 out of 10. I think... So I think that as a man, you gotta experience a lot more with relationships. But if you're a woman, you have to... I think your first relationship can be the best one. You don't necessarily have to go through 9 or 10. Well, I think a man has to.
Do you think I was... No. If you're not a guy, you lose 25% of your value every time a dick passes you in the street.
Usually in a time of crisis, that's when our natural selves come out.
That's why when crisis hits, women start to do household chores.
Maybe that's your own biological makeup. But yeah, I feel like that's true. When I was ever in a... no. I think... I don't know. It's hard to describe, because even though I'm here, I'll talk about a few personal experiences I've had, kind of similar, but they weren't really crisis, right? But when I saw when I see people fighting, and I get when I see people fighting, I don't know, it's cool. I don't know. It's hard because I don't have a lot of personal experience of crisis. When I live in a society where it's very, very peaceful, I'm not in ancient Roman, right? It's hard. I don't know. I think I have like this instinctual kind of thing where I want to protect my sister even though she's the older one. Maybe it's something like that. Even though she's older than me, she's a lot weaker than me. She's 5 feet, 90 pounds, 22 years old. Yes, I know, she's a fucking midget. Child, right? She's like a fucking child. And here, if I see her in danger, I would probably protect her. And I don't think she'll be able to do much in danger. She says, oh yeah, all I gotta do is hit the cock and run away, but I'll tell you this. you're not fucking hitting the cock if they're running straight at you with a fucking knife. And if this is a man, he's gonna run a lot faster than you expect. If it's a woman, I don't know. Still possible, still able to kill you, but if I was there, sorry, you're out, done.
The other guys face consequences for their decisions. Like that's the whole point. Is like like men, when they make a bad decision, they always have a consequence. Women don't.
This is also.
That's very interesting. Maybe. It sounds reasonable, but I don't have personal experience. I can't say whether I agree with that or not.
So true. My period started yesterday, so I waged war on France. I just told them that my tummy hurt, and they forgave me.
And that's why women are worse, because one gender has consequences, one doesn't.
And that's why women are worse.
You're not supposed to say that part out loud, Pearl. You're supposed to at least pretend you're not a terrible person. You're not playing by the alpha rules. Well, sorry, I forgot. We have no consequences, so it.
No, so just doesn't make sense at all. But okay, I'm not gonna respond to that.
Doesn't. I guess the alpha rules don't apply to us.
Men, when they make a bad decision, they have the consequence immediately, where women don't.
So this is.
I think nowadays it's maybe it's because I'm still in school, but maybe.
This has honestly been really freeing, guys. All this time I've been trying to be a good person and do nice things for people when I could have been doing whatever I want, which is bad thing.
I think you can be doing a lot worse stuff as a woman and they won't suspect you.
Bad things.
I think.
Bad things. Bad things.
Okay, wait.
I'm gonna call it there, guys. Thank you for subscribing and.
Okay, that shit's boring, but. Yep. It was very interesting to watch this. I made a lot of mistakes. Here, I think I've started. I want to try this thing where I'm not gonna try very hard to edit my videos unless it's extremely necessary. Only because I want to kind of show my kind of, how do I say this? My defects? My flaws. Yeah, fuck. See, my fucking flaws. I want to kind of show it. I want to be able to kind of look back in my YouTube journey and be like, holy shit, this is when I paused and I couldn't speak for like a good 5 seconds until I thought of something. But I want to get better at speaking, and I think it's better to kind of, because on the videos, you know, I was editing like fucking the spaces, and I'm like, okay, first of all, it takes too much work, and I feel like it takes a lot of realism out. I feel like I'm not the real me. So I'm gonna take it almost like I'm streaming, but if my mom or my dad walks in the room, I'm gonna edit it out. But other than that, I think, yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, nice. Make sure to like and subscribe, I guess, probably. And see ya.